And what is going on, everybody? My name is Travis, and welcome to SF Bay Area Sports Talk, and welcome to another 49ers post-game fans hangout. We are wrapping up the final game of the 2020 season, and we came so close in this game to a huge win against our division rival, but I absolutely love the way we came out and played in this game. We hung with the Seahawks all game and very nearly came away with the win. At the end of this game, 49ers come up just short, 26-23. But what a game this was. And early in the game, the defense was playing phenomenal. And CJ Beathard, give him some credit. You know, there were some plays that we could have made some big plays on, but overall, a really good job in this one. And man, you know, I just love the intensity. So missing so many players like this 49ers team has, and to compete with the Seahawks, a team that, of course, is trying to make a run to the Super Bowl in the playoffs this year. So to go head to toe with them the way the Niners did in this game, this is a huge boost to carry us some momentum going into next season. So welcome in, everyone, to the show. So great to see you all here. And yeah, obviously going into this game, we're already been having eliminated from playoff contention. So, a loss isn't the end of the world here. Of course, we wanted to get this win and came so close to doing so. But now we finished the year 6-10. So it looks like we're going to have a pretty decent draft pick, probably 12th, 13th in there. So I'm very intrigued to see when we get to that point, what we're going to end up doing. So let's see, going to get to some comments. We got Tyler Burbeck in the house. Welcome. I'm extremely happy with the way CJ Beathard held his own. Absolutely. And what a performance. I mean, he is such a tough player out there. You saw him be aggressive early in this game a couple of times, running with the football. And, he has that defensive mentality. From growing up, he really admired a lot of defensive players. So you love that he carries that intensity with him, and he is able to take big hits. And you need that from your quarterback, someone that's not afraid to get hit, someone that, can relax out there and, keep everyone in check. So, yeah, I was impressed with CJ Beathard out there. And, yeah, we very nearly came away with a win. And, this 49ers defense has just been incredible this year. I mean, of course, you look at the players that we have been missing, and, obviously Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas, Dee Ford, and we can go on and on, Richard Sherman having missed some time. And yes, so many key players have been out this year, but this Niners defense has stepped it up, and, next man up mentality. The depth of this 49ers team is incredible. And we saw that this year, despite everything that we went through, to go 7-9 this year, that is very impressive. We could have finished 3-13 or 4-12. And so I'm pretty happy considering, obviously, we fell short of the ultimate goal this year to win a Lombardi trophy, but, we're going to get right back to work next season. And obviously the key is if we can have all of our guys back healthy, man, I cannot wait to see what we're going to do next season. I am just so pumped for next year. And I love the way we finished the year, beating Arizona, playing so competitive in this game. We got Kevin Shepard in the house. Welcome to the show. We'll be good next year if we stay healthy. Yeah, that is going to be absolutely the key. And, of course, we can never take anything for granted. And, not saying that, of course, we took health for granted going into this year. But, yeah, we went through what we went through. And, I think we're going to become even better and stronger because of that adversity. And I really think it's going to help us out big time next season. And so it's going to be a lot of fun next year, and of course, a lot of big decisions to be made in the off season. Welcome in Rob Hyman to the show. So great to see you here. Always appreciate you checking in all the time and everyone doing so. It really means a lot to me. Hyder needs to come back next season. Absolutely. What a phenomenal year for Kerry Hyder. He was so incredible this year, putting pressure on the quarterback, getting a lot of sacks this year. And I was very impressed with him. When we signed him in the offseason, I did a video on him and I really liked the move. And I felt like he can contribute big time. And man, he absolutely did that this year. So what a year for Kerry Hyder. And we can definitely also throw Jason Verrett in that same category as must re-signs for this 49ers team. I mean, Jason Verrett was just absolutely on lockdown all year. I think he had probably one of the highest, cover percentages in the league. Receivers were only maybe getting like, 1 out of every 10 passes against him. So, he's just was incredible this year and continuing to do it today. He had 8 tackles. So Jason Verrett, and what a story, everything he's been through since he's been in the league. He's had to go through some major injury every single season. And I believe up to 5 years in a row, he's been through that. And so for him to have the type of year he had this year, to be healthy and to showcase what he can do in his skill set, it was phenomenal to see. And I'm definitely sure Niners, are going to bring him back, and that's going to be awesome to see him build on this season. Ford and Tart are goners. With D Ford, I definitely would have to agree on Ford. I think it's unlikely he comes back. He just could not stay healthy. And, it's been a tough break. We traded for him, and, it's sometimes these things don't pan out, just like Dante Pettis, receiver that I thought was going to be very great with us and, did not do very, very well. And of course, let him go this year. And Jaquiski Tart, I feel like he could come back possibly. I still think Tart does a great job out there. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of decisions to be made. Kittle's interception was amazing. Oh man, George Kittle, just been so awesome to have him back the last couple of games of this season. And man, I know George Kittle is so motivated right now to break Travis Kelce's tight end record. As we know, Travis Kelce, the tight end, excuse me, tight end for the, let me get some water. Hold on. But yeah, Travis Kelce broke George Kittle's receiving yards record. And so Kittle, man, next year, watch out, because Kittle is going to probably break Kelce's record. And, going into this year, I felt like Kittle, if he was able to stay healthy and, play the whole season, I was predicting Kittle to break his own record. So, you love Kittle. I know, this is another thing he can motivate himself. He does such a phenomenal job. His work ethic is absolutely off the charts. The way that he prepares himself in the off season, the workouts he puts himself through, he does everything possible to ensure that he's, in the best shape possible and, prepares himself to go out and do the best that he can out there. And yeah, he had a big game last week. Today had another great game with 7 catches and 68 yards. So, man, I love watching Kittle out there. In my opinion, the best player in the NFL right now. Kittle can do it all. He can run block. He can catch the football, run with the football. And, he is just so gifted as an athlete. And today, that one, I think it was that one-handed catch that he made was so impressive out there. The quarterback depth chart behind Jimmy G needs to be upgraded this off season. Absolutely. I agree with that, Rob. And, really, when we look at this season and we reflect back on it, there were a lot of missed opportunities this year, which it is frustrating because, the way this Niners defense played all year, I definitely believe that, we should have been a wild card playoff team. We were top 5 defense, and ultimately, yeah, our offense, especially quarterback play, really let us down this year. And, Mullins, the Mullins experiment did not work. And, I thought Mullins would play much better than he did, so it was disappointing that he struggled the way he did. And, with Mullins, yeah, he just threw way too many interceptions, could not take care of the football. And it really cost us because, we were in a lot of those games this year against really good teams. And this year, obviously we went through all the injuries, but if we had gotten a little bit better quarterback play from our backups, maybe we win a game or two. And yeah, what it comes down to is we were just 1 or 2 games away from potentially becoming a wild card this year. And so, definitely in the offseason, we have to address the backup quarterback situation. With Mullins, yeah, we've seen enough of Mullins, so I don't even know what the contract status is on him, if he'll be back next year. But in my opinion, obviously, CJ Beathard is the backup right now to Jimmy Garoppolo. But we do have Josh Rosen. So, I don't know if Rosen is under contract for next year, but I definitely think Rosen probably could be a good backup to have. And so, we'll see what ends up happening. But, that's what was frustrating about this year. Jimmy G goes down, and if we had at least a decent veteran backup, again, Mullins and Beathard, again, I know we all probably thought that they were, again, Beathard did pretty good. So, but with Mullins, yeah, it was just tough to watch this year. And, I hope he can bounce back. And we'll see what can happen. Let's see. I would say keep Beathard as the backup QB and trade Mullins for a pick. I'm right there with you, Tyler. I would do the same. In my opinion, yeah, I've seen enough of Mullins. I think we've seen him now 12, 13 starts, if you count the 4 starts or so from a couple of seasons ago. And yeah, this year, 7 or 8 starts. And yeah, we really threw him into the fire this year, right in the middle, the thick of a playoff race. And yeah, Mullins, let us down, unfortunately, but bounce back with another team. We'll see. We got Rick in the house. Welcome to the show. Okay, nice. So yeah, congratulations to the Seahawks fans, and congratulations to Rick on this win for you guys. Big win for you, and of course, yeah, obviously we love the rivalry, but best of luck in the playoffs. As you know, I'm definitely hoping the Seahawks lose, but to the Seahawks fans, good luck. We got Big E in the house. Great to see you. And yeah, congratulations, man, on this win. It's such a competitive, fun game. I love the Niners Seahawks rivalry. It is so much fun. I mean, we play such competitive games no matter what. It always seems like it's going down to the last play of the game. 1 year ago, the last game where the Niners, we got the NFC West division title when Dre Greenlaw made the tackle at the 1 yard line to seal the game. And then, this game today went all the way down to the 49ers defense in this game. We only allowed 6 points going to the fourth quarter. And yeah, then we gave up some touchdowns, like 3 touchdowns there in the fourth quarter. So, defense did very good and just kind of melted down there at the end. So yeah, best of luck to you guys, Biggie, and we'll see what can happen. As you know, I'm hoping Seahawks lose, but we'll see. Yeah, so we need a veteran backup behind Jimmy G. And yeah, I agree with you, Rob, because I think, if we look at this season, yeah, we had, some young quarterbacks as our backup with Mullins and Beathard. And, if we would have had a veteran backup, who's to say we probably are a wild card team right now. And, we're playing on the super wild card weekend next week. But, it is what it is. And overall, we have to look at the positives from this season. And, we can't, obviously, we're not going to dwell on what could have been with this season. We had such high hopes and expectations for this year's team. I really thought we can, bounce back from the Super Bowl loss last year. We had everyone returning. And, yeah, if we had been able to be healthy, I definitely think we would have ran the whole NFC this year and gotten our 6th Lombardi. But you know what? It's going to make it that much more sweeter come next season when we can get back to work and get back on the grind as we love it. I think Jacoby Brissett would be a serviceable backup. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen Brissett a whole lot, but if I'm going to give an initial reaction, I think that would work out pretty well. So, we'll see if Josh Rosen comes back. Mullins and Befford are unrestricted free agents, I see. So I definitely don't think Mullins will be coming back, and Befford I would re-sign. So I think Befford did pretty good, and I love his intensity out there. And, so he's a guy I definitely would like to see come back next year. And I think the big question we're all wondering, going into next season is, are the 49ers going to try to improve at the quarterback position, or are we going to start Jimmy Garoppolo in 2021 and then go from there and see what happens? And, you wonder, are we going to draft a quarterback in the 2021 draft, so they can be a backup and they can be mentored under Jimmy Garoppolo? Or will we maybe wait a year and try to draft a quarterback next year? So, yeah, that's a big question because, obviously if we don't get a QB in this year's draft coming up, then we can at least use that draft pick on, some of our other skill set positions. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting, as we find out leading into the draft. The Cardinals lost again, and Kyler Murray did not start. So yeah, Murray, I know he had to leave that game, I think from the leg injury. And yeah, we banged him up pretty good last week. That last hit, excuse me, that last hit against Kyler Murray. So yeah, I'm praying he can get back healthy for next season and everything. And man, just an incredible year for Kyler Murray. And, I have to imagine for the Arizona Cardinals, that is a tough way to, get knocked out and miss the playoffs this year. Arizona looked, like they were going to definitely make the NFC playoffs as a wild card. So yeah, disappointing finish for them, but as 49er fans, we love it. So yeah, also stunned. The Dolphins missed the playoffs with a pretty solid record. Yeah, I'm surprised too. They got bull rushed against the Buffalo Bills. I mean, the Buffalo Bills right now look like one of the most dominating teams in the AFC. And, you have to wonder, Buffalo, they probably have the best chance to upset Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in the playoffs in the AFC. So, yeah, man, the playoffs are going to be a lot of fun this year, even despite we're not going to be in it. And, no matter what, I'm going to be representing our 49ers. And so the rest of the NFL world is going to know we're still out here, 49er faithful, and we're going to be making some noise. And, man, can't wait to get back at it next season. Robert Saleh might have coached his last game as our defensive coordinator, as he will be interviewed for head coaching vacancies. Man, Robert Saleh has just been such an amazing coach. Definitely one of my favorite all-time coaches of the 49ers. I mean, I just love his energy, his intensity, his passion. It is unlike anything else. And on the broadcast, they were saying about how, Robert Saleh does such a good job of, being black and white with telling you what to do and, what your job assignment is. So I think he can relay that information to his players and, so they can be all in the right position to be successful out there. And you know what? I wish Robert Saleh all the best. And I'm hopeful, that he can return as our defensive coordinator next year. But I would not be surprised if he does get that head coaching job, because, it is definitely much and well-deserved for Robert Saleh, just doing such a tremendous job. Yeah, please, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, please, Robert Saleh, if you see this post-game stream, please come back next season, please. We love you. We love your energy. And no matter where you go, you're going to, that positivity and that energy will rub off on, wherever he goes. And so, man, just incredible. We got Rhyme Cien. I apologize if I pronounced that wrong. Welcome to the show. We put up a good fight, and I am proud. I'm proud. Absolutely. I'm so proud of this 49ers team. Give us some credit. I mean, we pretty much had almost, nobody out there, missing so many players down to injured reserve. We're missing our starting quarterback, missing starting running back, missing so many key pieces. And again, to go head to toe with the Seattle Seahawks and almost come away with the win there at the end of this game. Excuse me, let me hydrate real quick. So yeah, such a tremendous fight in this game, and I'm so proud of all the adversity this year and what we went through, and so I think it just makes me that much more excited to go into next season, and we're going to be getting right back to work. Let's see your NFL playoff matchups. Love this. So we got Bills, the number 2 seed against the 7 seed Colts. Wow, that is going to be a good one. Colts with I think their rookie running back today had a big performance, 241 rushing yards. So let me see if I got the name here. But what a performance by the Colts get that win to go in. They're into the playoffs. Here, let's see. I can't find it right now. I don't want to spend too much time, but we got Colts, Steelers against the Cleveland Browns. Another phenomenal matchup coming up. That's going to be a fun one. Cleveland, Baker Mayfield and the Browns, what a year they had. Tennessee Titans against the Baltimore Ravens. That's going to be fun. A rematch of the playoff game last year. Of course, that big upset the Titans got over the Ravens last year. So, man, Ravens are definitely going to be amped up for that game. And let's see, this season can be a blessing in disguise, I feel like. I'm right there with you, Rhyme Cien. And, because when we look at this year, again, we don't know what draft pick we're going to end up with next season. But as we remember, the 2018 season was another year that, we had very high expectations and, being able to make a deep playoff run. And as we know, Garoppolo gets the torn ACL in week 3 against the Chiefs. And, then from there, we play a lot of close games in 2018, but we finished 4-12, and we end up getting the 2nd overall pick in the 2019 draft, and we're able to land Nick Bosa. So you know what? Sometimes things happen for a reason in life. And, I definitely like the positivity, Rhyme Cien, on this because, that's how we got to look at it. And, this year could have been a year that we could have ran the house and got that Lombardi trophy. But, since we went through the injuries, now we finish at 6-10. We're going to get a pretty nice first-round pick, 12th or 13th or something. And, man, if we can get an absolute game-changer type of talent to add to this phenomenal football team, that, in my opinion, when healthy, is the best football team in the NFL, and we are going to prove it next year, and I can't wait to get back at it. Now we got a preview of some NFC playoff matchups coming. It is a football fan's dream scenario next weekend. I mean, if you guys look at the schedule, we got 3 wildcard playoff games on Saturday, and we got 3 wildcard playoff games on Sunday. So we are going to be watching football all weekend next week, and I am very excited. I will be streaming one game from each day. So probably looking at the night game, so the 5 o'clock game. We'll be streaming it. So definitely check it out if you guys have some time next week. Would love to see you guys there. We got Steven Ortega in the house. Welcome. Niners are still getting a draft pick in the top 10. And if they do, could they get a quarterback, or do they stick with Jimmy next year? Yeah, that's the big $100 million question that we are wondering right now. And, I mean, if you ask me, I have to say that if we can get, there's going to be a lot of great quarterbacks. Obviously Zach Wilson is someone that's been talked about. We got a chance to see Justin Fields in the college football semifinals playoff, and he looked really good. And, of course, Trevor Lawrence will likely go number 1 overall. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like the Niners could be in a position to get a very good quarterback. And, do you make that selection? I feel like, I mean, at this point, I think you have to at least definitely consider it because, worst case scenario, you draft a quarterback with your first pick. Jimmy G ends up having a phenomenal season and leads us, and we win a Super Bowl. And now we have an up and coming young quarterback that can be mentored by Jimmy Garoppolo. So you know what? I feel like it would be a win-win situation. And I feel like drafting a quarterback with our first pick doesn't mean that, Jimmy's not going to be the starter. I think, of course, no matter what, Jimmy Garoppolo will be the starter in 2021. But he's going to have to earn that, to keep the starting job. I think Jimmy has to show that, he has to improve and just keep getting better. So, I expect him, if he's healthy, to continue to perform at a very high level. And I do think Jimmy Garoppolo can only get better. We have to understand he's still very young in terms of how many games he started. He's only started about 40, 50 or so games in his career, I think, somewhere around there. So, Jimmy can still reach new levels, and, that's going to be fun to watch. We got Hero Austin in the house. Welcome in to the show. So great to see you as always. That one hand catch from George Kittle was insane. Just phenomenal. I mean, I just love it when we see these type of athletic plays on the football field, and Kittle to do that. And also, knowing that he's probably likely to get tackled in that situation, and to still be able to come away with the catch. That was very nice to see. Let's see. Do you think Sherman is leaving the Niners? I really want to see Richard Sherman back, but if I think it's unlikely he comes back. And what it comes down to is I feel like the 49ers are not going to be in a position financially to bring back Sherman. And ultimately it comes down to, we have so many young players that, we're going to give contracts to and make sure to re-sign. And so I feel like, that we're probably not going to have money left over to re-sign Sherman. But if Sherman is willing to take a big pay cut, maybe, then I definitely think there is a chance he can come back. So yeah, would I bring him back? Absolutely. I think his veteran leadership, and, this year it was tough for him to stay healthy out there. So, that is a question mark. Is he worth paying a good money to come back? Because, can he stay healthy? But yeah, we know he, tore his, I think it was his Achilles. It was, yeah. And so maybe, this having been his first, or, first couple of years returning from that Achilles, we'll see how he can do. But yeah, that's going to be very intriguing to see. I see the 49ers are slated at number 12 in the draft. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly where we're positioned, but yeah, man, it's going to be so exciting come draft time. We got to let's go Warriors. Yeah, let's get that win tonight, and let's bounce back from the loss against Portland. So that would be huge to get a win tonight. We need to make improvements with our strength and conditioning. I absolutely agree with you, Rhyme-Cian. When we look at the injuries this year, I don't know if that's a result of, our coaching in terms of like strength and conditioning coaches. Because, when I looked at the off season, you saw all the Niner players working out. They were, running routes together. They were putting the work in the off season. So as far as I'm concerned, you, especially when you're playing football, you got to be putting yourself through very rigorous preparation in the weight room, to get your body to be in position to withstand, the everyday grind of playing in the NFL. And yeah, we had way too many injuries this year. So, if guys aren't doing what they need to be able to be mobile out there on the football field, because, doing things like yoga and so many different things, it really helps out your joints, your ligaments, and all of those kind of things. So, I don't know if that's something we need to focus on this off season, to prevent as many injuries as we went through this year. But definitely something to keep in mind, because everyone goes through injuries, but, we went through so many this year. And, I don't know what the exact reason is for that. We are less than 30 minutes for Warriors tip-off. Love it. The countdown. We got it going. I will be watching the Sunday night game, Eagles and Washington, pulling for Alex Smith. Man, still continuing to do it. He is such a highly motivational, inspirational player, Alex Smith, to do what he's doing. And let's see if he can get Washington to the playoffs. And we got the return of the San Jose Sharks coming January 13th. Got to get that elusive Stanley Cup. It is coming, and hopefully this upcoming season we can get it done. And I'd be still learning hockey. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not like completely knowledgeable about hockey, but yeah, I'm learning and getting better. It's basically been confirmed he's going into free agency. So yeah, I believe it, talking about Richard Sherman. I wish Sherman all the best, and I loved his time in San Francisco, and I know he really enjoyed it. And it's tough because I would have loved for us to have gotten that Super Bowl ring for Sherman in San Francisco. But yeah, maybe he can come back. So never say never, as we know. Do you know who's playing next week in the wild card? So yeah, we had Rob giving us the update there, and yeah, I meant to go over some of the NFC matchups. We got it right here. Saints against the so let's see. Okay, so Bears did get in. I wasn't sure there. I thought if they lost today, Bears weren't going to get in. But man, so Saints against Bears, let's see if Chicago can do something in that matchup, because it looks like a big mismatch there. Seahawks and Rams, that's going to be a fun one. Nice divisional matchup. And then we got Giants. Oh, okay, I see there. So yeah, Giants / Washington against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks. So that's going to be a very fun matchup. And yeah, I can't wait for next weekend. We're going to have lots of fun. Again, football fans, dream come true next weekend, with the, them extending out how many teams get into the playoffs. We got 3 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday. Make sure you got yourself a seat on the couch. We're going to be in for a fun Saturday or fun weekend. Just tremendous. We should draft a quarterback, but these past few games show that Befford can be a serviceable backup. Absolutely. I definitely believe Befford can be a very good backup. And, I feel like, we don't know for sure, but if we start Befford, over those 6-7 games that we started Mullins, I feel like Befford could have led us to victory. He does really good job of taking care of the football. And yeah, I think Befford is a really great serviceable backup. And so if we don't end up, signing anyone and we go with Befford as our backup, I would be okay with that, because yeah, I think Befford has proven enough that, he can produce out there. And, again, big key is taking care of the football. Okay, got you. Thank you, Rob, for that update. I forgot. Yeah, because Arizona, they got eliminated. So even with the Bears loss, the Bears still clinch. So, man, that is awesome. We'll see if the Bears, I'm definitely rooting for them against the Saints in that one. Bears got in because Rams beating the Cardinals. So, yeah, let's recap some of this game. So we look at Befford, his final line. He was 25 of 37 passing for 273 passing yards and 1 touchdown. And yeah, did a phenomenal job taking care of the football. Just there at the end of the game, losing the strip fumble there. That was the one thing. But that was just tough. That was really tough there. At how the game ended today. Because Seattle, of course, they go and take the lead on getting a touchdown there on that last drive, and then they go up by 3. And so you still like our chances. I mean, we had 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I think we had, 2 or 3 of our timeouts, and we just needed a field goal. And, then we get a strip fumble. If this was a game that we needed to win to get into the playoffs, this probably would have been the most heartbreaking way to have a season end. But being that this game, again, since we had already been eliminated, it didn't hurt as much to lose, but you hate losing against the Seahawks, and so I can't wait to get some revenge against them next year. So it is going to be awesome. Can't wait for next season. Russell Wilson, he was 19 of 35 passing. So we contained him. 176 passing yards. He had 2 touchdowns. And give big credit to Jeff Wilson Jr. today. He had a great game at running back. With Raheem Mostert being out, Jeff Wilson Jr. really did great today. He had 20 carries for 76 yards, about 3.8 yards a carry. So that is phenomenal. Did a great job today. I don't mind that. I don't mind that we lost this game. Because we do get a better draft pick. And it also did not affect the Seahawks seeding. Seahawks were trying to get that number 1 seed, and they needed, of course, they needed the Packers to lose, and they needed the Saints to lose. So thank goodness for our sake that the Seahawks did not get that number 1 seed. And now the NFC is going to have to run through Green Bay. And I think that's going to give a huge advantage to the Packers, because, you have to keep in mind, not a lot of people are used to playing in, basically sub-0 degree weather. And, so like, say if a team like the Seahawks, if they have to go to Lambeau and play in that snow, I definitely give the advantage to Green Bay. And I would be taking Green Bay in that game if it was Green Bay versus Seattle. So, we'll see, the NFC, it's going to be very fun. Let's see, Biggie, expect the attitude to implode again next year. Just awful management, awful coaching staff for all of those teams in that. Talking about the NFC East, I agree. I mean, the NFC East, they did do better at the end of the year. New York Giants got going. Washington, of course, got going. Even Dallas started to pick up some wins. So, they did better that division. But, I mean, the fact that if Washington loses today, a 6-10 football team is hosting a playoff game next week, I do not understand that, and I don't know if there's something that we can do that if you are that bad, that even if you're a division winner, that you don't get to host the playoff game, or maybe you give it to a wild card team that has a better record. So I mean, I don't think we'll see something like that. Division winners will always be securing a spot in the playoffs, no matter how bad they are. And even for us, I remember the one year the Seahawks got in at 7-9. I think that was the 2010 season. And then they upset the Saints. I remember watching that game. That was crazy. I think Marshawn Lynch just erupted against the Saints back in like 2010. So which position do you think is the most important to the 49ers? That's I think I'm going to have to go with right now the offensive line. I have to. I think this offensive line really needs, we really need to improve it. They did not have a good year. And no matter how good of a quarterback we have, if we don't have an offensive line, we're not going to be able to win a lot of football games. And so, we have to improve, to me, because look, a quarterback, I think with Jimmy Garoppolo, we got ourselves our starter. So I don't think I don't think it's super important that for us to get, I think the offensive line to me is the most important position right now, because our defense was phenomenal. We do, of course, with Sherman being a free agent, and we might need to, add some players to our secondary and maybe draft a cornerback. But I think the offensive line, we have to address that, and whether that's getting a late third or fourth round pick to draft an offensive lineman, or do some things in free agency to improve. But yeah, we have to have a good offensive line. The good teams out there, they can protect their quarterback, keep the quarterback from getting hurt, give him some time to make those throws. Backup QB, very important. I'll definitely agree with that too. And, just like we saw this year, if we, have a serviceable backup, I definitely think we make the playoffs as a wild card. I would definitely put that as a huge area to improve the backup QB, because, just going with Bedford, I think it would be good. But if we can improve, bring in someone that it does have veteran experience, I think we should definitely, look into that. 2010. That was a crazy year. I was thinking, Niners, I thought we could win that division that season. I think we lost to the Rams, if I remember correctly. We were 6-9, and I remember, I think Alex Smith got sacked at like the 50 or 40 yard line. It put us like way back, and we came up just short that season. Yeah, McGlinchey, I'm with you, Rob. Mike McGlinchey, I think in the offseason, he lost a lot of weight. And so I don't know why that is. I mean, I know you try to get more agility, like, more fast, quick, and athletic. But, he lost weight, and he's an offensive lineman. So offensive linemen should be either, probably maintaining their weight or, adding a few pounds of muscle if they can. So yeah, McGlinchey, definitely, hit the weights, do what you can to put that weight back on, and obviously not just fat, but, put on more muscle. And yeah, hopefully McGlinchey can have a bounce back year, because, this year was a struggle. And as we know, I think it was last year that McGlinchey went through an injury. So, you have to wonder how much that affected his performance this year. Because, McGlinchey, he did not play. He hasn't played like the guy that we saw in his rookie season. And so that's definitely something he needs to do. Absolutely. You're right. Biggie, offensive linemen should be having at least 340 to 400 pounds. They got to be huge out there. Okay. They got to be able to protect the quarterback. And definitely think 49ers, we can improve this offensive line. And so that'll be very intriguing to watch. Let me hydrate real quick. And so, let's get into some more game stats before we wrap up this stream here. And Kendrick Bourne with a big game today, really coming on strong at the end of this season. He had 5 catches for 76 yards today. George Kittle, a great game with 7 catches for 68 yards. Richie James had a big catch in this one. He had 3 catches for 66 yards. So great performances by some receivers. And I think Bourne is going to continue to get better. And I think he'll definitely be a, big target for next season. And so I can't wait to see what we can do. This offense, so many playmakers, and with Kyle Shanahan's magician playbook, just so much fun to watch out there. We got Jesse. Welcome in to the show. Well, good game. Really showed us what our weaknesses are. So I think I'm not sure if you're what team you go for, but thank you so much for that, Jesse. And if you're talking about weaknesses, I think in this game, I feel like Niners did so well. So I think this game was more about the Seattle Seahawks weaknesses more so than the Niners, because we played very well in this game. And Seattle, their defense has been the question mark this season. I mean, their offense does, they can put up a lot of points. But yeah, the defense for the Seahawks is going to be the question mark in the playoffs. Do you think Jason Verrett should be re-signed? I say the 49ers give him a 3-year deal. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you here, Austin. I would give him a 3-year deal. He just played so phenomenal this year. I was very impressed with him. And yeah, he's definitely earned it. And, look, if we were willing to give Quan Alexander a 4-year deal or Jarrett McKinnon a 4-year deal, I definitely think, Jason Verrett, we absolutely have to give him. He's earned this contract. He deserves it. And I'm so happy for him to have had the success that he had this year. So yeah, excuse me, get some water real quick. Yeah, just a phenomenal game for Jason Verrett, and continuing all year to do what he does. And let's see. Okay, got you there. So Seahawks. So yeah, best of luck to Jesse and to your Seahawks in the playoffs. As you know, of course, I'm rooting against you guys, but we'll see what can happen. And yeah, defensively, Fred Warner, the best linebacker in football. Terrific game with 8 tackles and 1 sack. And Jason Verrett, of course, 8 tackles today. And Azeez Alshire, also a great game with 7 tackles. And Tavarius Moore continuing to have great games. He had 4 tackles today. So this Niners defense, again, another great performance. But, we did slow up there in the fourth quarter. Seahawks were burning us. But, yeah, this defense, what a tremendous job they did all year. To be a top 5 defense and to play the way they did. They kept us in so many games this year. And, man, they truly were the MVP of this season, the Niners defense, coming off of a year that we were, the number 1 defense in the NFL last year. And then this year we continue to dominate. So, yeah, I expect us to get right back to being in the top 1-2 in defense next season. So I cannot wait. And yeah, gotta give a big shout out to DK Metcalf for him breaking the Seahawks single season receiving yards record. That is a tremendous accomplishment. And yeah, Metcalf is, he is one of the most exciting players in our game today. Even if it pains me to say that as a Niners fan, but got to respect greatness when you see it. So yeah, Metcalf is off to a great start. And, just like, of course, our Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, we got some phenomenal playmakers. So yeah, Metcalf, congrats, on a great year and continuing, you love to see when, the talent in the league today. And, another great performance we saw from Justin Herbert, the quarterback of the Chargers. He had 4 touchdowns today, threw over 300 passing yards, and the Chargers get a win against the Chiefs. So that was a big one. And yeah, so man, it's just fun to see the talent that we have in this league, and with technology continuing to grow into the future, I think we're only going to get better in terms of strength training, condition training, and ways to continue to prepare the human body to be able to go out there and perform at high levels. And so, yeah, we're going to be wrapping up the stream here. And, when we look at the season as a whole, I have to be honest, I was very proud of how competitive this 49ers team was this year, how we competed despite going through all of those injuries. I'm very proud of this team, and I think we had a great year. Despite, of course, we fall short of the ultimate goal of, winning a Lombardi trophy. But when you consider all of the adversity that we went through, this, in my opinion, was a very successful year. And it was a very successful way to finish the season with great performances, getting the win against Arizona and essentially knocking them out from the playoffs. I mean, if we don't beat Arizona in that game, they're they're probably in the playoffs. They're of course in the playoffs right now. So for us to knock out our division rival out of the playoffs, essentially, then go head to toe with the Seahawks, this was a great way to finish the year. And, now it's all about, getting healthy for next season. And yeah, so, recapping this season, obviously there were some, disappointments and, obviously with Mullins, it was tough. But, we tried to do the best we could out there, and yeah, it just did not work out with Mullins this year. Phenomenal year for the 49ers defense, top 5 defense. So just amazing. And yeah, we saw a star be born with the Niners. Brandon Ayuk, just a tremendous rookie season. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him the last game or so here. But yeah, Ayuk just amazing this year. And, you saw him again in the game against the Eagles when he leaped over the defender. Ayuk is such an athletic and so athletically and gifted. Man, I had so much fun watching Ayuk play this year. And just imagine this 49ers offense come next season when we have all 3 of the Super Mario Yak brothers, when we got George Kittle, the best tight end and best player in the NFL. We got Deebo Samuel, and we got Brandon Ayuk. This is going to be so much fun when these 3 guys are together. Just wait and see, man. As we all know, we're going to have a blast next year. So cannot wait. So yeah, great year for Brandon Ayuk, and, definitely one of the most exciting stories of this season. And what a steal to get him at the end of the first round there. I absolutely love. Now I know why Kyle Shanahan was as excited as he was. The facial expression on his face when we drafted Brandon Ayuk, we got a chance to see the potential and what Shanahan likely saw when he was, going through the film review and, doing what he could to scout all the players and get ready for that draft, along with all of the other 49ers scouting department. With maybe a little luck. Jalen Hurd, yep, absolutely. We forget about, I hadn't thought about Jalen Hurd in quite some time. Unfortunately, yeah, he had the torn ACL, I think it was. And so we were really excited to see what Hurd could do this year. And he was another guy that, was consistently putting in the reps, putting in the grind, and doing what he was doing. So really pumped for Jalen Hurd to come back next season, and cannot wait. Going to be incredibly exciting. And so, yeah, before we wrap up the show today, we are going to get to our picks of the game. So feel free, if you would like to, let me know your guys' picks in the comment section. And I am going to go with, I'm going to take Kendrick Bourne. I'm taking Kendrick Bourne today. He had a great game, 5 catches for 76 yards. And I really believe Kendrick Bourne, finished the year very strong. And I think he's going to be, a key receiver in our offense come next season and be a big-time target to rely on, a guy that's going to make big plays for us. So tremendous game for Kendrick Bourne. Great way to finish the year, and we'll see if he can keep building on it this year going into next season. So, yeah, Kendrick Bourne is my pick of the game. And, let me know if you guys would like to, who you got as your picks of the game. And so, yeah, with that being said, we're going to be wrapping up this show. And before I do, just want to give a huge shout out to each and every one of you all on a tremendous season and for all your support. It really means the absolute world to me. I had so much fun doing these post-game shows with all of you, reading your comments and hearing your perspectives. You guys really are so knowledgeable, and, it really love hearing what you have to say. And so, yeah, thank you for making this season so much fun and these shows really enjoyable for me and for all of us. And yeah, I can't wait to be doing more shows next year. And, obviously it's going to be way better when we're winning more games. And so, yeah, what a year it was. And I'm so happy to be with all of you the 49er faithful and all the football fans out there. We love this game of football. And so thank you, everyone. You guys truly are the MVPs of this season. I would not be here if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much again for all your tremendous support and on a great year. So nice. Washington driving. Yep. I'm going to get to that game here after the show. So thank you again, everyone. And if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel big time. YouTube sees the engagement and helps out the YouTube algorithm so we can help push these videos out there to more 49er fans and more football fans in the football community. So thank you again, everyone, and smash the subscriber button if you haven't done so you can stay up to date with all the latest post-game shows, live game reactions, free agent and trades reactions. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. And also hit the notification bell. If you guys don't hit the notification bell, YouTube is not going to let you know, when these videos are coming out. So definitely very important to do like, subscribe, bell button, all. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. And thank you again, everyone. And so what a year was. Go 49ers. We got this next year. We're going to get that Lombardi trophy. We're going to get back to work next season. What a year. We gave it everything we had. I'm proud of what we accomplished this year, and I can't wait to see what we'll accomplish in the future. We will be back next year. Absolutely. We got this. So thank you again, everyone. We will see you next time. And can't wait for more videos in the off season. We'll be here talking all the latest 49ers news. So stay posted for more, and have a fantastic rest of your night, everyone. If you're watching Sunday Night Football, enjoy. Good luck to Alex Smith. Let's get that win. And we'll be back. We will be back next year. We are going to be back, so hungry for some success next season. So let's do it. Let's work as hard as we can this offseason to prepare for next year. And we're going to do it. We got a touchdown, Washington. That is what we need. That is how we're going to end the show today. So thank you again, everyone. We will see you next time.